If anybody would have told me that Stew Chicken this time around would have given me such a tussle, more of a fight than Perez gave us at the Mexican GP, then I would have not eaten that, and definitely not ended up in emergency dental situation. So, but it is what it is. We got a little bit of time for this anesthetic weighs off. Half my face feels like it's not there. So if I drool on camera, please excuse me. I'm not above jokes, but please apply the 24-hour rule if you could. So you know how we start this off, okay? We're going to start this off with a little bit of instruction. Some people may have not been here, but first thing I do want to do is say big welcome and congratulations to Mary Hampton joining the family. Wolfpack member just joined. Big shout out to Jesse James Bell. Missed the race to watch my Chiefs get beat by Denver. One of the days I'll get the screen with the camera. I love you all, Wolfpackers, and Master of Ceremony J. Big shout out, Master of Ceremony. I don't know. That's a big thing. I got to give myself a round of applause and give Jesse James Bell a round of applause for just like giving me that title. So the way you can get on and take part in the content creation is this. There are two links, one in the description, one in the live chat. Click that link. It will bring you in as an audience member. Once you come in as an audience member, if you don't have a desktop or a laptop, that pretty much will be where you will sit. If you have a desktop, laptop, access through Edge, Google Chrome, then what you can do is a live call-in, come on camera, talk about the topic. Right now, we're talking about Checo crashing out for Red Bull, what's going to happen. There were already rumors about him retiring, but second, because there's a lot of first there. Second, we're going to get into a soft topic. Things are getting crazy at the Mexican GP. Things got pretty brazy at the Mexican GP. We're talking about something that shouldn't happen. So first, I'm going to be serious about this. I'm going to be serious about it. What you're about to see is something that shouldn't happen at an event. Shouldn't happen at a Formula One event. I don't condone it. I don't support it. I do, however, say sometimes you got to defend yourself. Sometimes things may have been said to the degree there is no coming back from it, and things will happen. Okay, so with that being said, what you're about to see is definitely something that is not of good standing, but now it's time to make a little bit of fun about this. So I'm going to go to this right here. All right. Now, first thing I want to say is Ferrari fans, if this is a representation of what Ferrari is doing, I think it is it's kind of like a representation of what Ferrari is doing. Ferrari isn't fighting very hard. And if they are fighting very hard, we really can't tell. But just look at this. These are Ferrari fans. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this might be a Checo fan. Maybe. I don't want to assume. But this first left hook is missing. So here we go. Don't hit the girl. I don't condone hitting women. I'm very glad he got the woman out of the way, or else I would have been disgusted. He moved the woman out of the way, didn't necessarily push her, hit her, moved her out of the way, got straight to the Ferrari. And here we go. Two Ferraris on one. This almost reminds me of the start of the Mexican GP. How in the hell, how in the bejesus did two Ferraris allow Max Verstappen to split them? This is why it happened. Now I kind of see why it's happening. Remember, we're joking. We're taking light of this. But I'm just saying, now look at this. Two Ferrari fans. Here it is. This guy splitting both of them, splitting wigs. Splitting Ferrari wigs. What is this Ferrari guy doing? He's coming in. Now, look, what kind of punching was that? Is that why these two drivers have had their watches stolen multiple times? Look at this punch. Oh, my gosh. It's almost like he's trying to pat him in the face. And here we go. Look at the Red Bull fan. I swear that's a Red Bull fan. Coming from the back. Cheating tactics, going for the rear naked choke, a Red Bull fan out of nowhere. There it is. It was a microcosm of what we actually see these teams do. Ferrari not really doing so well, fumbling, allow Max Verstappen to split. Checo's upset. He's ready to beat ass, but he ain't really doing it. Then next thing you know, Red Bull come out of nowhere, cheat, grab you from the back, can't even face you up front, put their hands up. I'm just saying, I don't support it, but goddamn, it's funny. It's a bit funny. It would have never been funny had this woman been hit by a grown-ass man. I would have never took that fun. It would have been over there. But being that it didn't even look like anybody got really severely hurt, especially with these rabbit punches that we're going to see right here by this guy coming He just sits down trying to punch, and then he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna stand. Damn, he's beating my boy up. Hold on, Charles, I got you. Here comes Carlos to the rescue. Carlos, not so much, and then here we go, Red Bull. Hey, we breaching cost cap. We breaking all types of rules. We gonna handle that. And then it just that shit right there is crazy. Well, I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about that type of situation happening at a racing event is wild. Like it can happen anywhere. It could happen. I was prepared for it to happen to me. The way some of these Red Bull fans were. Will I Am says, good evening, everyone. Happy early Halloween. It is happy early Halloween. If you are in the United States of America, a cold front will briskly begin to come through tomorrow, supposedly. So wear your jacket, put the little ones in the coats, and let's get from there. Who do we got first in the live chat in studio? We got Will, of course. Will first in the live chat for studio. Once again, big shout out to Just James Bill. So that's our soft topic. So listen, as you see, I keep grabbing my mouth. We're going to try to get through this expeditiously. Checo crashing out of Red Bull doesn't even make one home lap. Checo, the driver who claimed and said that I am going to come here, it is going to be a near perfect weekend. I am going to give my family, my home, I'm going to give my fans what they want to see, and I'm going to take this race. Can't even make one lap. I mean, can't even make one lap. I was like, are you shitting me, Checo? I was just blown away. I was literally blown away. I didn't even know what to really think about the situation with Checo and that whole situation. I really couldn't even believe he did it. I couldn't believe he did it. For a moment there, I didn't even think it was Checo doing this. I said, this has got to be some type of plant. This can't be real. Checo's not going to go out in the first corner, not even the first lap, the first corner. He's not going out like that. Yeah, he crashed out. And from there, Checo, first DNF of the day, done early, doing interviews, trying to explain what happened. And I give him this. He said he was trying to win. But that's not how you do it, Checo. That's not how you do it. And I'm not really sure Checo's all here mentally. So I will say this. I've told you all several times before. This is your time to come on and say something. I speak all week, through the weekend, GP weekends, random times throughout the week. It is your time to say, what do you think? Do you think Checo is crashing out of Red Bull mentally? Do you think he's checking out mentally, emotionally? Do you think Checo may have hit a cliff? Do you think Checo's driving skills are now just pew? Do you think that that's what's going on? What do you think is happening with Checo? And if so, do you think Checo doesn't want to be a Red Bull anymore, but doesn't know how to just come out and say it? And I hope that I don't bite my lip on the show because it would be horrible. Doing my best to do minimal. So if you don't have anything to say about that, I know I do. I do not think that Checo is... I don't think he's a wash driver. Will says, tight 5. Thank you, Will. Coming in. Go ahead and give me a mic.
Can you hear me? Happy early Halloween to everybody.
Oh my God, bro. You killed me with this shit. Oh my gosh, it is the king. This is crazy, bro. You are the shit, man. Hold on, You are the shit, bro. Oh my gosh. What do you got?
Happy Halloween, Happy Halloween, everybody. A little early. Happy Halloween. So let's do this type 5. You got 5 quick questions. We'll try to get done in a minute.
Yeah, let's do the type 5. I got you. Let's do the type 5. Okay, type 5. We're gonna start with the first question I just asked. Is Checo checking out a Red Bull?
I think so. I think that's pretty much it. I think that move that he did into the first corner was him just trying to, go balls to the wall, try to just, impress the crowd and all that. It failed, and I think that might have been the last bit of gas in his tank. I think he does retire.
Damn. Okay, when?
Oof.
Give a time frame, because I gave a time frame on Seb, and I was pretty accurate. Give a time frame on Perez.
I think that I think this might be the end of it. This year will be the last year. And I think that, because his contract is up, so I think that might be, is it this year? I believe it's 2024.
I think 2024.
So 2024, yeah. So So 2024 would be the last year, but I don't. But it's Red Bull, so do they bring in Ricciardo? That goes a little deeper into the whole
Yeah,
entire
we gonna get into
conversation.
that. Right, we're
On
gonna get
his
into that.
terms, I think if it's on his terms, he stays, and then. But if it's on Red Bull's terms, maybe it's
Like
earlier.
we traditionally have seen. Okay.
Yeah.
Situations with impeding pit lane, Russell, Max Verstappen, and I believe one other car. But do these cars get fined? Because this was already given a warning before. We saw this already before. If Max Verstappen is not caught up in it, do these drivers get fined? And did these drivers not get fined this time because Max Verstappen was part of the set?
I think that because of the consistently inconsistent FIA, I think that if he's involved, then it does kind of affect what happens as far as the penalties that are getting handed out. I can't say exactly why or, if there's any hardcore proof for that, but it's starting to get to the point now where people can't just look past the fact that every time something like that occurs, it does seem as if there's nothing. But we have a little fun in the Discord where I pop up on the multi-viewer how many track limit infringements there are. And for every single race, every time I've been doing this, there's never been a single one for Max Verstappen. Now, this is the same guy that went out on track limits in Austin during qualifying, so I just don't understand how there's always zero in the race. So it does start to get a little fishy. I mean, we're allowed to look at things a little side-eyed, a little question things, and, so right now it does seem a little weird that every time this happens, or he speaks in the media pen and then all of a sudden something changes. So, yeah, I think there's some validity to that.
All right, aside from the lack of availability, do you believe that Logan Sargeant has done or is showing to do enough for Williams to say they would allow him to stay, given they did have an option? But we already know the options are very tight, so he's being kind of saved by that. But let's just hypothetically speak, in an alternate universe, if there were a driver market available for Williams to reach out and get somebody legitimate, do you think they would keep Logan Sargeant, or do you think they would move on from 2024?
I think they keep him because of the investment that they put into him. That was what James Vowles was saying earlier on. I know they're still saying, of course, obviously, those chances are still limited. It's not like you can just, pull a Mick and crash a car every single race or something like that. And I know he's leading the. There's a Reddit feed out there that has a World Destructors Championship to play off of the WDC, and they have all of the dollar amounts added up, parts, all that stuff. He's leading. He's comfortably in P1, but I want to say maybe Sergio's in like P2. Probably, I don't know. He might be challenging for that title after that crash in Mexico. That didn't include that. Was after Austin.
Right.
So I think for lack of options, that's part of it. But I think because they have invested so much in him, it might take some time. I think they still do give him another year. I'm just adamant on the fact that they still give him at least another year. I think that they're committed to that. And then after that, maybe if there were some options on the table, then yeah, they might at that point have to part ways.
Okay. Max Verstappen splitting two Ferraris, is that criminal on behalf of Ferrari allowing that to happen?
I think that Ferrari are too busy working on things like Plan Omega, Plan Sigma, like they're out of the alphabet already. They're into the Greek alphabet. So I just think that it's Ferrari. Mm-hmm. It's Max. I don't really have much more to say about that. It's just there's too much. I felt good for Leclerc for a little bit there, as far as I'm seeing some progress there. Obviously, mm-hmm. The car's getting better, and his one lap pace is, like I was saying before, is something that doesn't even need to. He doesn't have to work up to it. There's a couple of people on the grid that are similar in that regard, but yeah, criminal. Throw him under the jail. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Galactus says Logan barely got into F1. Don't think he was ready.
Well, I mean, Galactus. I mean, it was P4 and F2. I mean, I know it looks bad. I catch the slander every time.
It does look bad, bro.
I catch the slander every time. I'm always coming to his aid, but I mean, I will say, if there are options after 2024, and he's still, I mean, he did finish right behind Albon and at the Austin GP, and did finish in the points. And I mean, I get it. Like, it's most of the time it's not that, but the pace is there to be able to pull that off. If you're keeping up with him and sometimes finishing ahead of him, even when they weren't in the points, I just feel
Okay.
like the pace is there, but it's not the consistency isn't there yet.
Got you. Okay. Valtteri and Joe, two drivers with limited time with Audi. With Audi getting ready to come in, or no?
Who would I choose? Because Teo Porcher is going to be the one that sits in the other seat. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure he's going to lock up F2. That's my guy. He's been in there for 2 years in F2. I think he's going to lock that up. And then moving forward, one of them would probably have to go. I would say maybe Joe stays because of just the marketability and he's younger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think then it would just be Valtteri that goes. I don't know what he will do at that point. He'd go and paint things and put his bare derriere out there, and I don't know.
Yeah, he made pretty good money on the mass paintings.
He could rock a mean cowboy like cosplay type of thing. I mean, he had the walk down, the outfit. There's options, but I don't
There's
know
options
if
for Valtteri.
yeah, it's definitely not. I don't see him being above Joe in the pecking order if Castello's going to be in there. I believe that. I think even Mary was saying something about what mixed options were and all that, and I think that's also something that could possibly happen. I don't know if it would be a mixed Seb thing, but I think maybe Mick would be another option just because of the Sauber connection and all that. So
Okay.
if they were to remove both drivers, but I think Valtteri would go first before Joe.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this final question before I let you go and get Uno in here. So, are we King Tut? We Ramsey? What we got going on?
Yeah, just picked up the little Pharaoh outfit and all that. I don't know who I would narrow it down to,
Who would you be? Right.
but if there's a Nefertiti out there,
Oh, okay, Muscle Moose. I heard that. Okay. Hey, if anybody out there, Nefertiti, he looking for somebody's positions are open. All right, just like the driver
this
market.
thing is shiny.
Come see it. I know that shit is blinging. Bro was out here blinging. Appreciate you, bro. He blinging. Uno's getting ready to come in. He says Checo tried too hard and did a Lewis style, though his teammate made Leclerc had to defend. All right, Leclerc had to defend. So let's bring Uno on in here. Let him get his F1 minute on. What's going on, Uno, man? Go ahead, give me a mic check, brother.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear what
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
do?
There we go. Go ahead, bro. I'm going to give you your F1 minute, man. Go ahead.
Yep, appreciate. Blessings to everybody. Good luck on your recovery. Also to Matthew Perry, God bless. But anyway, let's get on with this talk about Checo's style because we've seen too much rumors and speculation that Checo's now going to be losing the seat completely. But you got to give Checo his heart. He tried to do what he do for the fans, and more importantly, again, when he tried to go on the outside, near to the inside of the track, he did a good job. He nearly got ahead of Leclerc. But if you watch carefully how Max did his start, and Leclerc was right in between the two of them, two Red Bulls, both sides. Leclerc couldn't turn anywhere, and looked like he was heading directly straight off the track. So although you see that Checo was going perfectly well and taking down the outside line, same way as what Lewis would do when he and George was doing that, and unfortunately, you saw what happened. Look, Checo did try to get clear, and unfortunately, his rear ring and the side pods got totally trashed. So you have to say that unfortunate for Checo. Checo did have his plan, but he didn't actually make the exact commitment. And unfortunately, again, he had to come out bad. And sorry for the little kid that watched, just like how you remember with Kimi Räikkönen to get knocked out of the race, and the fan in the Ferrari was crying. That little kid was crying his eyes out and got taken to the paddock. So unfortunately, we saw that incident with the kid. You mentioned that good and covered that well, and I saw that, but we didn't see any pickup, any preparation, or anything else to say if that father and son got taken to the paddock the same way as what Kimi with that little kid won in the past, which that wasn't fair, because at the end of the day, all people turn up to come and see the representative of Mexico. And unfortunately, he got knocked out. What happened? Where are the representative of Mexico? They left. They left. They paid a good money, and unfortunately, they waste their money, because Checo, it wasn't his fault. He tried to do what he was doing to represent,
Right.
and then what happened wasn't wasn't speculated, wasn't planned. It just came off unexpected.
Okay.
So
Appreciate that, Uno.
therefore, I gotta say that I really do feel sorry for Checo. But now we just got to see what happens, because at the end of the day, that guy is trying too hard. What you said correctly, I respect that, because Checo now has to step away, because he's not in it for himself, and he's not in it with the Mexican people that cheered and booed Max. They only in it for him. So yeah, I said my piece, and I respect
Okay.
that.
Appreciate it, Uno. I see you swagged out too, my brother. I see you.
There you
I see
go,
you.
representing.
Baraka's coming in, and me and Uno agree with that. I think, still, like I said about Lewis, there was just a little bit more space if Perez was going to try to preserve something, because it might have been too early for him to be that aggressive. Said the same thing about Lewis. Trusted Russell, couldn't trust Russell. There was more space out there. He assumed Russell was going to let him in, and Russell just, like we just heard Lando's engineer say, we've raced Russell before. We know he's all or nothing. Like, people know that this is the dude's character, and that in itself might be a tad bit of indictment, and might allude to some of the things that a lot of people are saying about Russell in the tussle in the Mercedes garage. But Rocker's coming on next, says, I don't know any more about Checo. I don't damn blame him. Let me get a mic check on the brother real quick. What we got? Nope. Nope. It's okay. It's okay. All right, come on back in. Come on back in. When you get ready. So we're gonna let Baraka get right. We already see he dressed. He dressed for the night. He dressed. He got his Red Bull gear on. But he did say he can't do no more Checo. And Checo has made mistakes throughout the season since he fell from the racing ability to try to get this driver's championship, at least at a point. And I gotta say, it's just odd, a little bit odd, and there may be more to it. I know Checo, it could be both ways. Checo could be just driving horrible, making unneedless, careless mistakes. Maybe he's not all the way in it mentally, and that is being a result of what we're seeing on track. Or maybe there's a plethora of things going on behind the scenes with Red Bull, as we always know that there is, and Checo was not dealing well with that, and then trying to keep a positive image in the public eye, or trying to keep things like they're even keel. And that is a result of what we're seeing. Either way it goes, I don't think we fully find out what's the situation until Checo walks away from Red Bull. That's what I think. I don't think we fully find out about that. So let's move to our next segment. Baraka's going to come in. He's still going to come in at a good point on the next segment, because it pretty much ties into that. Daniel stealing Checo's show. Is Daniel being set up for the Red Bull seat? This is the next question. Is Daniel being set up for the Red Bull seat? Will I.M. says Baraka kept up his end of the bargain with Mary and wore his merch. I got to see it. I need to see that. When Baraka comes back in, I need to see the merch, because it sure looked like some Red Bull merch right there. So I'm wondering if when he put the Mercedes merch on, if he was like, I got to put some Red Bull on to even it out, because, he's a Red Bull fan. But I need to see if he got all Mercedes merch on, because it looked like it might have been Red Bull, but I could still be kind of high from the shit I got going through my system right now. So I'm not. I'm going to wait till I can put my eyes on it and concentrate on it. Just like, Silver Air this weekend, talking about the race, popping champagne. It wasn't Carlos, it was Charles. So what? It was a Ferrari let them split, and then they didn't turn a very good pole position 1 and 2 even into a race win. And Ferrari, this is the story of Ferrari. It just is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this Daniel Ricciardo and Checo situation. I do think that, I think a lot, maybe not all, but a lot of people were like, what the hell is going on with the AlphaTauri? If it had not been for Yuki making a very premature mistake, a mindless, maybe not mindless, because he's not mindless. He's smart. He's educated, and he's experienced. But he made a bad decision and cost himself points and the team points, and cost AlphaTauri the first time, I believe, this season they would have had 2 cars in the points. And that was an unfortunate situation for him, because up until now, Yuki's been the driver that has delivered for AlphaTauri, and then Danny Rick comes out of nowhere and just qualifying shines. Comes into the race, points. I believe the highest finish that AlphaTauri may have had this season. Galactica says Daniel is a bot and Yuki is getting treated like Perez. I don't want to say just yet Yuki's getting treated like Perez. Think we got to give it a little bit more time to see that. A little bit more time. We got to see a little bit more time. But I'm not discounting because they already did kind of treat Yuki a little bit. I mean, the pay they was giving him compared to what other drivers were getting and what they were doing, I was like, I'm not sure if I really care for that. I was campaigning for Yuki to get a pay raise, and Yuki deserved it. Yuki's done a good job for AlphaTauri in context of an AlphaTauri season. Now, people was wondering what Danny Rick did. Is this the AlphaTauri RB19, the AT RB19 that he's driving, with how Danny Rick just showed up in qualifying and then showed up in the race? I gotta know. And I'm not too above or too removed to say that I think Red Bull might be setting Danny Rick up for the tee shot. I think they might be. I think they might be getting ready to do that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was Perez and they came to me and said, listen, we're gonna make a switch, because I was still waiting for them to switch Max into an AT to show us how you put an AlphaTauri on pole, because they haven't done that yet. I mean, if you're in a season where you're just trying to do remarkable shit, that's something you can do. Do that. Show me that what you said, Helmut Marko, is actually true. Show me that you can put Max Verstappen in an AlphaTauri and he bring it to pole, not let alone a Haas. I'm just asking you to go right down the garage to your other team, one of your other 4 cars, and say, Max, drive this today. Show them that I'm right about you. Put an AT on pole. Why not? We're in the season to doing unheard of shit. Galactic says, but bet Yuki is not getting the updates first versus then. Point right there, brother. I gotta give you a point on that. You are correct. Okay. In that sense, there you go. Totally correct. So yeah, I want to hear from you. I'm gonna give you a moment. Because I am struggling here. I'm gonna give you a moment to come on. Let me know what you think. Uno is coming on. Honey Badger surprise us in comeback. Okay, Uno. Uno says in a comeback. Let's go, bro. Go ahead, brother, man. Get it in. Oh, hold on. He's not ready. And I want to make sure he get all his seconds. I'm about to rewind that clock for you, brother. Go ahead.
Right. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, as I said, Daniel really surprised me, man. Surprised everybody. Because I was actually looking to see if Yuki was coming up. But Yuki was doing quite well. And as you said, and we all saw, he made a terrible error. Not a judgment, not miscalculation, a terrible error by trying to overtake Pierre. But unfortunately, he rushed it too quick and then all of a sudden clashed. And that's what sent him off, which made him cuss. Which he cussed himself, really. If you remember, and then you hear boop, 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 boop. Right. So Yuki should not really be cussing Pierre's mistake, because you saw the way Yuki turned him too quick. And that's what the guys them all said, including Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman said it as well. Natalie Pinkham said it as well. She actually said that Yuki could have actually made being there with Daniel Ricciardo, but unfortunately his misjudgment was his own human error. He went too quick to try and overtake, and that's where the problem lies. But hey, Yuki still did good. So, but Daniel Rick? Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
All right. I'm saying, let's see. Hey, he said, let's see what happens. That's all you can say. Let's see what happens, because up until now, Danny Rick has been like lackluster. Then he goes out, and you know what? I might have to say Galacticus might be right. Think about this. Danny Rick goes out, surgical procedure, comes back. Now all of a sudden, maybe Danny Rick is a bot. Galacticus, you might be on to something, bro. You might be on to something, Galacticus. He might actually be a bot. Artaza says 1 point regarding fight. Yuki is being cornered, and some are his own mistakes. Perez has lost his head. Let's go, Arta. Let's go. What do you got, man? I give you your F1 minute.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, and I'm starting your clock right now. Go ahead, brother.
So first I'll go straight to the fight. Basically, why is these fights happening all over the place? It all started in 2021. You know how much Red Bull has been toxic. Red Bull also have been racist, and they ignite all this. Look at their statement regarding Lewis Hamilton and any other driver except of Max, how they treat them, how they say things about them. I don't need to repeat, and everybody knows it. So
Right.
this is fallout of that. Red Bull as a team is responsible, and moreover, F1 is responsible for not stopping them. Secondly, Yuki is making mistakes by himself, so he's going towards downward spiral, and the team is not helping him. Team is also responsible for it, and that's why he's also losing his head, and Perez has already lost his head. He could have waited after Charles Leclerc, and maybe he would have even won, because only Perez had pace because of the Red Bull. Perez had pace in that track, and he knows that track inside and out. So these are my
Good
three
point.
key points. Nice.
Good point. Appreciate that, man. Those were very solid points. Matter of fact, I'm gonna address them. I appreciate you calling in, and thanks for you've been here a few times, man. I appreciate you tuning in.
You're welcome.
Yo, that is a very good point, and that's why I said I was almost done watching the race when Perez did that. I wanted to see Perez shine so bright at his home Grand Prix. I wanted to see Perez do something so stellar in Mexico, just given everything that's been taking place, everything that has happened, been said about him. I just wanted him to shine so bright in Mexico, and just to see it come to an end shortly, and still in the sight of the lights out, still in the sight of the start line. He killed it all. I mean, 70, those were a lot of laps to watch without Perez. I just got to say, a lot of laps to watch without Perez. DG Big Blue, Navy, hoorah. Red Bull Racing never wanted Danny Rick to leave. They wanted that 1-2 like Mercedes had with Lewis and Bottas. Danny should have been a world driving champion at Red Bull before Max. And this is what I say. And we talked about this in the Wolves Den Discord. Shit's getting bad for me right here, right now. I said that I'm not sure if Danny Ricks gets his chance back in a Red Bull car. I'm not sure if Danny Rick plays the nice second driver. I think Danny Rick knows, like we know, he made a premature decision for whatever the reasons were. He chose to leave, and he made a worse decision on top of his already worse decision, compounding decisions, by not sticking it out as he said he would do a Renault. And then he jumped to McLaren, and it was abysmal. Lando ushered him out. Now he's back in a junior team in which he was on the varsity team. I think if Danny Rick gets an opportunity to sit in a Red Bull seat, he does not yield to Max. I think we see a driver battle inside a Red Bull that will not facilitate well if it does happen. I think Danny Rick wants what he believes would have been his. And it's an unstable thing to have, because somebody who feels like that, you don't know how far they're willing to go to try to feel like they captured it back. Baraka's back in. Hopefully my mic is working this time. We're bringing him in. Let's go, Baraka. Show me, man.
Hey, what's going
what
on?
you got, bro.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Okay, you do got the merch on, man. Oh, man.
Yeah. Hey, I made a promise to Mary that if Lewis gets the podium, I'll wear my Mercedes merch, and I'm a man of my word. So,
Here we are.
Here we are.
You know, I can stand rest in peace, Dolph. I can stand without the Bass Pro hat. You know, I shop Bass Pro, man. Just bad news when I see the Bass Pro shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about Dolph. Rest in peace, Dolph. Go ahead, bro. You got your F1 minute. What we got?
I wanted to talk about Checo. I think he got overzealous going into the first corner. I think
Word.
when you look at the position he's in, it's like, yeah, he's in a ticking time bomb in terms of like his time in an F1 seat right now. So I'm guessing he's like, all right, it's a now or never situation, and he just got the corner wrong against Charles. And yeah, I know Charles couldn't go anywhere because he was in a Red Bull sandwich. You know, when you got two of the fastest cars on the grid, and you're in between, it's in God's hands at this point. So
Gotta take the
it's tough luck for Checo. Hopefully, it doesn't kill his confidence, which the confidence is already low. It's at an all-time low. So, and that crash doesn't help his case. It's like you could tell he was going into that weekend. It's like, all right, I think I have a chance. This is my moment. This is my weekend to at least prove the haters wrong. But it didn't happen. And now with Daniel Ricciardo coming into the mix, given the fact that he finished pretty well in the points, he dragged that AlphaTauri into the points. Given how Yuki and Daniel has been performing with that car, now it's like, okay, you got a young driver who has been showing development. Like rookie year, I was getting cooked for Tsunoda because he kept crashing every other race. So it's like, but as a good fan of mine, I was like, I'm sticking by Yuki. There's potential. I got stocks invested. Same with Logan, but we won't touch that for now. But but you got a young driver that has been showing development, and you got a driver coming back in who it seems like he has his mojo back.
It does. We got to give it another couple races.
Yeah,
we make it official. But right now, that was pretty nice.
It looks like ever since he went to that AlphaTauri seat, he slowly gained confidence in that car. You know, just getting used to getting the feel for an F1 car after being sidelined for almost half a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now you got two drivers from your sister team eyeing for your second seat. Now Checo's in the position that, okay, I got two drivers within the Red Bull family eyeing for my seat. And I know the rumors were spreading that Alonso is also there. I don't know how. I didn't really entertain it when I saw it, but someone said the what if situation. It's like, okay, I'll entertain that what if. If Alonso is also eyeing for that Red Bull seat, that doesn't help Checo in terms of trying to ease off pressure off himself. Because now you got a two-time world champion eyeing for your seat.
Right.
So he's getting pressure from all corners from his team, from within his team. You know, Horner is trying to. Let's be real. If Horner deep down expected better for Checo, he did not expect him to have that car flirting in the midfield. You got two of your drivers in AlphaTauri eyeing for that second seat, and then let's just put that out there just for the sake of it. Alonso, highly doubt that's true. I know Red Bull Spain played with that rumor with the shush emoji,
right?
And that really didn't help Checo's case. But you got pressure from all four corners for you to improve and up your game, and I just don't think he can hack it at the moment. I think he is way so far in his head that he can't really think straight.
You think straight?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask you another question. When you come back, we're gonna bring Alex in.
All right.
Don't take the merch off though. You keep the merch the whole show.
All right.
Alex says Mexican crowd. Let's go. You know, Alex gonna come in with some Haiti bombs. Let's go. And she let's go. Let me get your mic check.
Mic check. You got me. Yo.
Yeah, go ahead. You got your.
Shout out to the Mexican crowd for your up and leaving. Love it. They said, you know what, we can just go ahead, hit the road soon. Traffic's gonna be a bitch. So let's just go. They don't like us, so why should we stay? Right. We not even from here. We from South America. But anyway, I don't think that Checo is going to leave Red Bull regardless of his performance, unless he puts it into the wall every race next year, because that contract at that track is not up until 2025. Carlos Slim is his backer. Man worth 85 bill with a B. They not gonna let that go. Not this year, unless they can get him out next year, maybe mid-year, depending on what the contract says. That money is just too good. Fans paid to see him, and when he wasn't there, he left. They don't care about the money, but F1 does, very much so. And if that contract is not up until 2025, guess where they're gonna be next year? In Mexico. And I dare them not to bring Checo in, right? So maybe there is some validity to him going to Mexico. I mean, excuse me, to AlphaTauri. Yeah, because he's going to race on that track. Carlos Slim is going to make sure that happens.
That he's in there.
He owns the telecommunications of all of, of all of South America, of all North America, in Mexico. So yeah, it's gonna happen. depending on his performance, I don't think it really matters. But he's gonna be there. We'll see him.
Okay. Let me ask you a cool question that Baraka brought up. So hold on. First, Galactica says Danny versus Max will be a crash every other week. Jefferson, which is our latest VIP member, need to get with me. I need 2 shirt sizes from you, and make sure you DM me for your VIP box because it's still right here. I need the address as well. He says Horner said a stroke of luck helped Lewis Hamilton finish P2. Yeah, right. He said that about Perez too. Horner say anything that ain't Max Verstappen. Galactica says Perez had too much Red Bull drinks, just overdid it. Damn. And Jefferson says someone needs to remind Christian Horner of 80-2021. Will says grats on VIP Jefferson. So,
yep, shout out to
Alex,
them.
I got a question. What if Alonso was brought in to Red Bull? What would you think about a Perez to Aston Martin?
That would not be important because the show that we are going to watch between Max and Alonso will overshadow anything else on that track. Yes. Alonso is not going to back down, and Max is not going to back down, but I think he does know his place when it comes to Alonso. Right. I think he has a reverence for Alonso that he does not have for Max. Mm-hmm. And people say he's gotten better as a driver, but when you're driving up front and you don't have competition, mm-hmm. things are going to be different. But I would love to see Alonso in that second seat because them battles is going to be crazy. We know Alonso does not give up, period. And like he might not be the best person, but that man in a car, even it's, like the Aston Martin, I don't know. Like I said, he made a deal with the devil to get his race career back, but they gave him a shit car. Right. Like I give you a hoopty, you can still race, but it ain't gonna be nice.
Say for how long you was gonna have it, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Brake dust just flying everywhere. Everybody got, like they'll get it together, maybe. Yeah. But Alonso not gonna be there.
All right, appreciate that, Alex. I see you in your Mercedes and your McLaren merch too. Hey, so Jefferson says Checo comes with that Mexican sponsorship checks. Kenny B is coming on. He says only 2 drivers can handle that car. Let's give Kenny B his F1 minute. Let me go ahead and get his mic set. What's up, Kenny B?
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. Let me get your mic set, bro. All right, hey. I'm gonna get you your F1 minute. Go ahead. You ready?
How's it going, everybody? Sorry, I was asleep.
That man.
Listen, there's only 2 drivers other than Verstappen that can handle that car. And I don't think anybody noticed why Lance Stroll is having so many problems in that car also, because Alonso likes a pointy car too. So other than if you look at how good Alex is, Alex Albon, when he went into the Red Bull car, he had problems handling such a overly pointy car, and that's what it is. It's extremely pointy. The people even talked about Norris moving into that seat for Red Bull. Couldn't handle it. He can drive a pointy car. He doesn't like it. He prefer most of these drivers today. Their driving style is not suited for a pointy car. This new regulation of car, you be able to drive it pointy because you want to keep it stable and flat as much as possible in the turn so you don't lose the downforce. So straight into a tight turn and slamming on the brakes, trying to keep it level, and then getting a quick turn and hitting the accelerator and coming out. That's what's going to make you really, really fast going in and out of the turns. And only 2 people can handle that other than Max, and that's Alonso and Hamilton. And you'll never see Hamilton in that car. But the biggest mistake he could ever make in Red Bull is putting Alonso in that car, because he will wipe the floor with Verstappen.
Kenny B coming with some shots. Appreciate that, bro. He ain't playing. He said just like that. Kenny B said, and that's what I said. You heard what I said. Yo, I'm telling you, Alex and Kenny B might be on to something, because I'd like to see it. We got Jefferson says Alonso and Max would be the best toxic duo. I'm telling you, y'all gonna see Max crawl up in the corner somewhere and cry. Y'all think y'all see him cry now just when the pressure, and you think you see him cry last time when he wasn't pressure. You get Alonso in that car with Max on the same team. Oh my gosh, you talking about just all types of Dear Diary. This day Alonso treated me so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. I'm telling you, he gonna have to get a shrink. He ain't built like that. I'm telling you, he's not built like that. But listen, right now, 2 L's, but not the same. Lewis making it happen. Lance losing it. We've asked this question before, and we're going to ask this question on our way out. On our final 15 coming up. When is enough going to be enough? When is enough of Lance Stroll going to be enough? I get it. You own the team, Lawrence. I get it. It's your son's dream. But I got to tell you right now, there comes a point where it is criminal what you were doing to Aston Martin. There's got to be somebody above you. Everybody's got somebody, a board of directors, somebody to say, Lawrence, this shit ain't working, bro. This experiment is not working. Your son, week in, week out, throughout the breaks, he probably wrecking something, probably not doing something great. This is not working. Lewis Hamilton is making things and getting podiums with subpar car while they're going through this throughout the season, trying to develop. The car's not the same. He's got to get used to a car all the time, which he has to adapt to a car at a different track and all this other stuff. What is Lance doing? Nothing. We got Alonso with 7 podiums. Lance don't got not one. Not one. Do you hear me? Lance Stroll, right there. This is where he's been. This is who he is. When is Lawrence going to say we have to have a conversation, son, and it's got to end with you not being a number 2 driver, because you're definitely not a number 1. Galactica says Lewis likes even balanced car. He said it on the radio. Here comes Uno. Uno is coming in. Big shout out to Galactica for the super chat. Uno, let me hear what you got, brother. I'm about to bring you down. Go ahead.
1, 2. The
You
mic
good?
check.
Go ahead. I can
Good.
get you your F1 minute. Go ahead, bro.
On it. Because right now, as we said, like the song title goes, enough is enough. Right? We heard that song from Barbra Streisand and the late great Donna Summer. Enough is enough. I can't go on. I can't keep on with this no more. And this is what we've seen with Lance Stroll. Stroll ain't been making it. It's like I know of Maxi Priest's song, Strolling On. And that's why I think it's a title for Lance Stroll. Lawrence Stroll should just give up. Stop pushing his son. Stop forcing his son. Or even try to treat his son to actually hold the number 2 spot. Because at the end of the day, Stroll is done. He's completely done. He ain't getting the format anymore like what Alonso has been giving him the encouragement, helping him up all the time on that pedestal, and it's not working. Even when, look what happened. Alonso passed Lance Stroll. Passed him. And Lance was still asking, why am I getting passed by? It's because you're slow. You're stupid. You're slow. But look what happened, right? Alonso paid the price and end up losing the race and retired. So at the end of the day now, we had enough of hearing about Lance Stroll because he's done his experience from Williams. Now it's time to hang out the boots and just sit back and just, and enjoy his time, reminisce on what he's done. But this is it. It's no more because that's wasting money. It's wasting finances. And it's also wasting the time with the pit crew and the engineers. So put in my guy that is the reserve driver and give him that major opportunity to go out there and show the quality, show the experience, and gain more in his time to make sure he can hold that seat. Because this is where enough is what I said. That title is what somebody should wear that t-shirt in the damn Aston Martin's place and stand in front of Lance Stroll and said, can you read? Let him get the message once and for all. Get that message in his head. Get it to his dad and say, sorry, son, your time's up. Because that's costing money.
Big shout out. Appreciate you. No. Oh, my gosh, bro. Can you read? So, listen. this brings us. We're gonna let Will coming in. Will's gonna close us out. We're gonna come in here and final up with Will. I'm glad that he's been here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Will been here. Oh shit, he changed it up. Damn. Okay, man. What we got? What we got, bro?
All right. So let me start off with. I know I put Stroll in there and all that, but we'll get to him. But a couple of things I wanted to catch up on was the comment came in from Denilyn Tuttle. She's always in the chat and everything, so doesn't come on F1 Minute and all that, but I see her always in the chat, showing up every single time. So made a comment back there on the Sergio Perez thing, so I wanted to just shout her out for that, saying, she said, I'm telling you the same thing happened this year that happened last year. He wins 2 races and suddenly loses his form. Sus. So she's always kind of like chimed in, and I just like to shout out like one of her comments every once in a while. Okay. Did you see there was a thing where Ricciardo and Lando were like being interviewed, and they had a little back and forth. So I'll bring this up. This was I got this from actually Blue Diva and from Twisted Skills. So they both kind of like made me come up with this one. So they're sitting there in the media pen and they're going back and forth, and then Ricciardo like is talking to Lando, and he's like, "Did you think you would have caught me?" And this is like he's talking about previously in the race and all that, and Lando's just like, and all of a sudden, like literally. It cuts him off. It doesn't say that, but he goes, just cuts him off mid-sentence. It's like, no, okay, so I could have got P5. There we go. What a bummer. Basically saying like, yeah, thanks for ruining that, buddy. So I thought that was pretty funny, just having their little back and forth banter now, and he's right back up there with, the McLarens and all that. So I'm kind of interested to see how that goes because, that's the previous teammate. He's got a car underneath them. So I want to see what happens in Brazil because that might be something kind of interesting. If it really is what some of the people in the chat are saying, that it's the RB18, that's what the AlphaTauri is now. And they already kind of know how to figure out how to work that car now in Brazil because they branded in 2022 and they had issues, but now they probably worked it out. We might see some quick AlphaTauris at Brazil as well. Okay, so now we'll get to Sir Lancelot of Montreal, Canada, first of his name, Prince of the Andals, heir to the 7 kingdoms, or whatever his dad ends up giving him. I have no idea. It's not looking good for him. It's not looking good. BMP 11, next to you're not even anywhere near Alonso's P5. So I think that as long as his dad wants to be an investor in that company, I know there's rumors saying he's going to sell it and all that kind of stuff. Until that happens, it's going to be the Lance Stroll show, no matter what. We don't know what his contract is. We don't know how long he's going to be there because he's just there as long as his dad is there. That's it. And there's really nothing else to say about it. But if they do sell, then I'm pretty sure he'll go and I think he likes, what does he like to do? Like the pickleball or tennis or what? Badminton? I don't know. He does something with a racket. So he'll go do that after he leaves from Aston Martin from F1, I guess. I don't know.
Damn.
Oh, and also, I don't think we didn't we didn't speak on the whole as far as the Formula Academy goes. One is a major shout out to Marta Garcia, of course, wrapping up the championship and all that. Bianca Bustamante going to the McLaren program, and also I'm gonna butcher her name. I want to say it's Megan Gilkes. I'm gonna mess up the last name,
gotcha.
But going to, I believe it is Aston Martin to be a trackside engineer. So just seeing some of the gears in motion. And I had mentioned it a couple of times about the ending of their season, but seeing how there's some major shifts going on for people that want to excel and move into spots in the Formula One, and it might not always be a driver's spot, but seeing that it's opened doors for some of these ladies to go and work at Formula One teams for maybe what their dream job might have been. Some of them might be boffins that want to go and work behind the scenes and throw on the glasses and the pocket protector and do some cool nerdy stuff. That's sometimes what people want to do. So just the fact that opened the door for them to be able to do that, and I wanted to say that to piggyback into what people like Lewis does and what his initiatives do, and why Susie Wolf shouted him out, that he's always there behind them as far as what they were doing for this. So, and plenty of other initiatives that he does. But this is why. These are the results that everyone's been looking for. These are the results that we're seeing in front of us to see when you do give those people opportunities, you give women opportunities, things like that, you can start to see people actually start to change the landscape, change the scenery that we've seen for Formula One over the past 70 some odd years. So just congrats to them and looking forward to what's going to happen next season.
Big shout out, Will. Always damn doubling up on them and coming with some other perspectives. Appreciate you, brother, man. Always supporting the women and diversity in sports as well. And I see you with the damn hat on too, bro. Big shoot, big shot. All right, I'm gonna listen. That ain't Racer X. I'm gonna let him in the door, but I'm closing it after that. Go ahead, Racer X. What you got, man? What you got?
What's on, everybody? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, man. You got your F1 minute. Go ahead, pop tall.
All right, cool. So first off, glad to see Ferrari on podium and not lose it this time. And major respect to Sir Hamilton coming in P2 twice, even though they took it from him in Austin. He deserved it. He deserved to win now, not win, but get podium.
Right.
And now we're seeing the W15 even more faster. Well, 14. I don't know why I said 15, but it is a lot faster and putting up the fastest lap on the final lap in Mexico on used medium tires.
Yeah.
Mercedes, they're creeping. They creeping on the low. People are saying, Mercedes ain't gonna do that. Hey, Hamilton's coming back. People saying he's done. No, he's not. This man's able to put up the fastest lap on the last lap with some old mediums.
Right.
And pit stops too. The pit stops are slowly getting there. They're getting better.
Right.
But they need to, next season, they really need to bring that fire. Wolf said, we just need to give you a car to compete with. They should have done that since 2022.
Facts. And I see you got your Ferrari merch on.
Oh yeah, but hold on. Before you take me off, what you got? I just want to let everybody know, if Ferrari fails me, this is what we do. This is what we do.
Oh my gosh, y'all never stop. Y'all never stop, Jeff, and y'all crazy, bro. Big shout out for the switch up on camera, man. Oh my gosh, that is funny as shit, man. Y'all never cease to damn amuse me. We got Jefferson says, Alonso, the only guy that comes into the pit lane, tell the crew retire the car. If they ask what's wrong, he'd be like something with the suspension. Mary Beanie says Danny Rick was driving the RB18 in disguise Sunday. Oh my God, DG Big Blue, I got that one. And then Jefferson says, Jay, I DM'd you on the F1 Minute Insta account. Got you. Okay, got you. Cool. I will get that, bro, so I can get your box out, man. So listen, this is another F1 minute. It has been a struggle for me, but y'all have made it so well worth it. And the switch up at the end, I'm glad I let Racer X come in. We got Will in costumes looking for his Nefertiti. We got Alex coming in, dropping bars. Baraka, Kenny B dropping bars as usual. Uno coming in, dropping with a little bit of mixed in flavor with his style, and Racer X coming in. It's been so great. Erickson coming in as usual, comes in time to time and definitely comes in. He comes in with his bullet points and bop. He's like, I'm out. I really do appreciate everybody's contribution. So if you haven't called in before in F1 Minute, you need to take advantage of this opportunity. Whether you're a Red Bull fan, Ferrari fan, McLaren fan, Mercedes fan, a Haas fan, Alpine fan, whatever kind of fan, call in, give your take, give your perspective. Jefferson says Mercedes pit crew went to the gym this week, 2.6 seconds. Pump our brakes. They might have been taking creatine. We need to see over time, can they make that happen regular? I'm hungry as hell. I don't even know if I'm going to eat. But anyway, I do know this. I do appreciate you all. Thanks for joining another F1 Minute. I'm your host, Jay, Wolfpack Performance, and we will be here live because we're going into another GP weekend. Let's go. Peace. I'm out.